What is going on, crypto miners, and welcome back to the channel. Well, today is a good day because we're expanding. And finally, I've been waiting for this ASIC miner for, I feel like 2 months. Might be a little dramatic, might be a little long, but let me show you what we got. All right, here we have it. It's a Bitmain, and well, just as you probably would have expected, it's an L9. Now it's the 16.5 gigahash, and there's a story behind this, and I'll tell you in just a minute. We're gonna get this installed in our crypto mining shed here at Mr. Electrician's house. Hello, chickens. And huge shout out to Fruition Design for sending us over the Shroud kit for the L9 that we're gonna need to get this up and running. Let me get this inside and let me tell you why it was such a struggle to get this unit. All right, we got our L9 inside the shed here. Let's step outside real quick though. Quick story time, won't last super long. So about 2 months ago, I ordered the Bitmain Antminer L9 17 gigahash. And this was like, I don't know exact timing, but the whole tariff thing with China wasn't as crazy as at that point versus, you know, where it had gotten to. And Dogecoin was down low, you know, real low, like maybe we were at 10, 11 cents, somewhere in there. And so I was able to get the 17 gigahash unit for $8,600, which is awesome. I've been waiting for it to drop below 10 grand. And so I went ahead and bought it, paid USDT, and took about a week to ship, which was a little disappointing. Thought it'd be like same day or next day, whatever. And then what happened was, by the time it actually got to US Customs, it had been about 2 weeks already. I mean, this was taking forever through DHL. Well, guess what? Then it sat, and it sat, and it sat for 2 weeks. So now we're a month in, all right? And it's still sitting at DHL, and this is when tariffs started to get really wild. I got really nervous. I'm like, how much is this thing gonna cost me now? Because I didn't expect to pay anything, to be honest with you. Starting to hear nightmare stories, stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, DHL sends everything back to China that's over $800. So guess what? This unit got sent back to sender, back to China. And I thought I was out $8,600, which really sucked. Thankfully, I was working with the guys over at Terra, and they said, hey, we have some units stateside, 16.5 gigahash. We can get you one of those units instead. I said, let's do it. So we went through that process, but they had to wait until the 17 gigahash got back to China and checked in, which took 2 or 3 more weeks. So by the time I got this unit here, it was about 2 months total from the time of purchase till the time of getting it, which is, drives me nuts a little bit because I could have been hashing and stacking so much more Dogecoin. All right, let's hop inside. All right, so today's gonna be a quick one because I am eager to get this L9 back up and running. So if you guys are checking out the channel for the first time, you're like, what is this mad scientist crap going on here? What is going on in this shed? This is my backyard crypto mining shed, actually at my electrician's house. It's an old shed. I have a whole video on this from start to finish, the entire build. If you're interested, I'll put a link down below. Go watch it when you have time. It's like a 40-minute long video. But that being said, we are mining 𝐏�0, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Lithium, and Ethereum Classic, and 𝐔𝐽𝐫, all inside this shed. The shed acts as a cold aisle, pulling in air through the filters, across the inside of the shed, into these massive inline fans, pushes it through the ASIC and exhaust out the other side, never letting any of that heat inside the shed. It's the only way I can get by doing this in a residential area. So you can see here's Mr. Electrician's house. And look, we're in a neighborhood there. There's people, they're nearby. Now these fans aren't that loud. Now there's a lot of them here, almost 30. So, you know, there's a little bit of noise to it, but barely anything. No one's ever complained. You go far enough away, you don't even know what's going on over here, which is great. So let's go ahead, get our L9 unboxed and our Fruition Design kit. We'll lay it out and then we'll get to work. Thank you to today's video sponsor, ASICmarketplace.com. If you're in the market for the top ASIC miners, look no further than ASICmarketplace.com. They have some of the best miners on the market in 2025. To name just a few, Bitmain Antminer L9 and L7, the AlphaPex DG1+, the Canon Avalon A15 XP, and many more. And oh, home miners, ASICmarketplace.com has you covered as well. The 𝐓𝐸𝐴𝐵𝐵𝑥 𝐔𝐬𝐝𝐷1, the Bombax EZ100C, the Ice River AL2 Lite, and many more. Finally, 3 big reasons I like ASICmarketplace.com. First, the price on their website is to your door. Shipping and import tax is included in the price. Second, they accept cryptocurrency as a payment method. And third, I've been working with them for over 2 years and never had a bad experience buying from ASICmarketplace.com. Go check out ASICmarketplace.com today and use my discount code to save $100 at checkout. All right, here we have it. Our new L9, super hyped. I do currently have one other L9. She's actually right over there. We'll take a look here in just a minute. Now, what we're going to be doing is, because these fans, they're so loud, they scream, we're going to be taking them off. Same thing with the ones in the back. But we need a replacement, right? So we're going to use the Shroud system to hook up an AC Infinity inline fan. And Frischen Design sells it directly for the L9. They actually give you everything that you're going to need here, which is awesome for your fan connectors, your new screws, even the adapters based off of which one you need. I think I'm probably going to need this one. Yep, more of a lower profile one to fit with the actual kit, which is really, really nice. And I actually totally forgot the L9s actually come with cables, which is great to see. So let's go ahead and walk over here. We do have an L7 currently in place right now. It's been running awesome. This is the one we got off eBay for like $3,000 during the bear market. Was such a win. Worked out so well. So here is the first L9 that I got and purchased a while back. It's been running great. I've had 0 issues with it, and it's been earning a lot. Now we're a long way from where we were when the L9 first came out, but I have my script miners here on via BTC, and I'll show you. We have, we have all different types of models over here. DG1 Plus, L9, L7, 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 DG Max, that's the gold shell unit. I actually have that one right down there. 𝐓𝐸 L1, 𝐔𝐬𝐝𝐷, and the Byte. Now I do have a number of these units actually currently hosted right now. So that's why you're not like, where's all of these units themselves? So if I go over to pool here, right now we're about 69 gigahash, about 70, and we're going to get another 16 to 17 gigahash up and running today, bringing us to 10 total miners. So I won't bore you any longer. Let's get to work. All right, we got our L9 stripped down here. Take a look, it's so much smaller. So this is it in all of its glory, all stripped down. We removed the fans on the back, removed the power supply cover, removed the control board cover here. We popped out our fans on the back side here and also on the front. So now what we got going on is, I like to go ahead and use the gallon-size Ziploc bags. I write L9 on both the bags, and I'll put the screws, the guards, the fans, all in those bags to make it real easy. So someday if I send this out for hosting or I sell it, I can convert it back super, super easily. All right, let's get the Shroud system in place. All right, we made some progress here on the intake side of the Shroud. So the nice thing is you actually lay it on its side, undo these black screws that traditionally have these fan guards on the front. The nice thing is the fans, if you do it this way, the power supply fans will stay in place. And then you put the power supply shroud up against it, and you use the original black screws to then go into the fans as a anchor or a mount. So that piece goes on first, and then the intake part goes on second, just like that. All right, let's get the exhaust side done. All right, exhaust side is done. Now the nice thing is, quick little tip actually, if you do end up doing this, do it on the edge of a table. Trying to fight the whole thing on the table with the feet and all can definitely be a challenge. Now the nice thing is, if you look inside here, I know it's a little hard to see, I'm gonna put the camera in more. The power supply exhaust with the ASIC exhaust. So it puts all that heat together, keeping it trapped inside this ducting that will go right out the back side. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get our cover back on the top here. I have our fans installed with the connections that Fruition Design provides. With our dummy plugs, I just zip tie it to keep it all nice and close and together there. And then we're gonna work on this intake side, and I'll show you how I go about doing this. What is going on here? So here's what I like to do. I like to take the inline fan, stick it upright like that, and then put the ASIC actually directly on top of it there. And that keeps all the weight down on here between the actual shroud and there to give like a nice seal. But you can see there's actually a little bit of the old tape in here. So the tape I like to use is this Polytech, and it's actually, you can see here, max temp 200 Fahrenheit. But this isn't your normal like AC repair guy type of tape. This is not super thin. It's actually really thick. It actually has a plastic layer on the bottom that you peel off because it is so sticky. And I'll be honest, when you put a hose clamp in here, it doesn't really do much of anything, I found. But the tape really keeps it as a good seal between the two for airflow, as well as to keep them married up against each other. All right, take a look. We got a nice sticky seal here between our inline fan and our shroud. We have our hose clamp on there. Finishing touch, community member 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐿 actually 3D prints these, actually has a store. I'll link it down below. Trust me, you don't know how many t-shirts this saves getting sucked in working over here. So I do have our fan plugged in. It's always good to plug those in before you plug the ASIC in. My next step is I want to test this before we go and install it, just to make sure everything works as expected before we get it in place on the shelf. So let's get this plugged in and tested. All right, so we're up and hashing. No red lights, which is fantastic. And over here on via BTC on our dashboard, our miner, we're about 16.5 gigahash. All right, so what I'm thinking is I'm gonna pair this one up over here. I got one slot up here. We're about 60 watts right now on PDU3 with an opening. Or we have an opening down here on this unit, and that one's about 3350 actually. So actually I might put that one down here. I was gonna go up here, but this one less watt used right now, which is good. So let's get our L9 installed. All right, our L9 is in place, up and hashing here. It's actually sharing a PDU with a K7, a CKB miner, up and hashing away. Now we do have one more slot here in the shed left available. Currently right now we have one unit down, which is this AL3. I'll have a video in more detail on this. It's been the absolute Wild West, I'm not gonna lie. But over here, taking a look, 17.3, our average is about 16.8, and our uptime is about 8 minutes. So over on via BTC, if we go ahead and take a look, we're about 80 gigahash script mining, which I love to see it. Eager to break 100. I think we could do it. Just gonna have to decide what miners we wanna move around, and do we wanna snag one or two L9s. Well guys, that's gonna wrap things up for today. It looks like it's gonna rain again here in Pennsylvania any minute. It's been absolute crazy. Mother Nature's been drunk. But that's gonna wrap things up for today. Thank you guys very much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. What's up guys? Sorry to interrupt your video, but want to keep you in the know. So are you new at mining, or you're just looking to step into it? You're not sure what hardware you want to buy, you're not sure what build you want to do, need some help? Maybe you're building your first mining rig and you literally need help step by step installing 𝐓𝐸. Maybe you're so far away from mining, but you're looking at it and you just need somebody to bounce some ideas off of. Well, I offer one-on-one calls with the community, and I've done boatloads, some really cool ones. I've helped people set up ASIC miners in the Dominican Republic. I've helped someone troubleshoot their very first GPU mining rig. I've chatted with a guy looking to open up a farm and just wanted a sounding board. I've helped someone else build and set up and configure their brand new 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐿 miners. Well, I'm here to help. and I'd love to work with you. If you guys need one-on-one help, I offer it, and I love doing it. So there's a link directly down below to 𝐓𝐿HobbyistMiner.io. Go over there and schedule some time with me. All right, back to the video.